Aluminum Christmas trees.
I believe that's aluminium. Hello there.
Hi.
And welcome to our channel. This is Alice.
And this is Kai.
And today we're going to be taking a look at 14 Christmas traditions from the 60s and 70s that have now vanished. As you'll see, Christmas is upon us.
Christmas is here.
This was a jumper that my wonderful wife Alice created for me. So it started out as a plain jumper. We've added some bits on.
For a tacky Christmas jumper competition.
Yeah, we kind of do this.
It's not a competition.
It's not a competition.
No.
Basically, the lads, we go out for a Christmas drink every year, and if you the person that made the least effort buys the prettiest, the most safe jumper, they get the forfeit. And it's normally top shelf alcohol in a pint glass, filled to the brim, and it's one of those that you don't really want it.
You don't want it.
I remember a couple of years ago, we actually in one of the pubs they had like a proper kind of German boot glass, and we had some Baileys in it, which is like the Irish cream, I think.
Yeah.
And by the time that was in the bottom, by the time the thing got to the top, it started curdling. It was grim. So you can imagine why we go a little bit extra.
And the best thing about this jumper.
Well, Christmas is upon us, right? Up as well.
Yay!
Although, yeah, it's kind of you can see it just about.
Yeah, you
can see it a little bit. Am I on? Oh, there we go. That's even better. Yeah, okay, we're going to flash for this video. So,
shall we get into the video?
Let's get on with it.
Okay.
Yeah, so let's jump in. Let us begin.
Remember what Christmas looked like in childhood?
Yes.
Bright lights,
I love these
the aroma of
adverts.
freshly baked goods, family gatherings, and things that felt so special. Times change, and many traditions from the
That looks
60s
good,
and
though.
70s have
I
vanished
miss
from our
those.
homes, lingering only in memories. Discover 15 Christmas traditions that made the holidays back then
is
so
that?
unique,
No idea.
and revisit forgotten moments you might want to bring
California.
back. Aluminum Christmas trees.
I believe that's aluminium.
Remember how Christmas in the 60s
Whoa.
swirled with a futuristic glow? Aluminum
That's very
trees
extra,
first
isn't it?
appeared
That
in
is very
1958 and quickly became a sensation. They were shiny, modern, and didn't need watering. These trees graced living rooms, lit up store windows, and became a hallmark of
That is,
mid-century style.
In the UK, our Christmas trees are now they're fake, aren't they? We don't have we can get real trees, and some people still do, but the mess of everything nowadays, 90% I would say of households will have a fake tree. Just put decorations on it, and it goes up in the attic each
And I
year.
think these days the trees are made so well that they kind of look
They
real.
imitate
don't they?
quite well,
They look
yeah.
really good.
I mean, our tree literally has lights built in. You just put it up.
Well, yeah, and then
Still
you
needs
still have to put
decorating,
everything
but,
on it, but it does come in handy.
Yes.
Saves a bit of time.
Let's carry on, shall we?
But everything changed in 1965 when A Charlie Brown Christmas aired, mocking aluminum trees as a cold, commercialized symbol of the holiday. Sales plummeted, and the trend faded almost overnight.
I thought they looked cool, though.
Coca-Cola Christmas Caravans.
Yes.
Yes.
Do
They're
you
still
recall
about.
the magic of Coca-Cola's Christmas Caravans? Brightly lit trucks would travel through towns, transforming
It still gets me when
ordinary
you see the
streets
adverts,
into a
doesn't it?
festive wonderland. Every child dreamed of seeing them in person. Those trucks felt like a gift straight from the North Pole. Coca-Cola truly symbolized the holiday spirit back then,
Look at that.
with Holiday Caravan, trucks spreading Christmas cheer wherever they went. Did you know the idea of these caravans dates back to the 1950s? However, their iconic status emerged in the 70s. Later in the 1980s, the slogan was revamped, and the caravans almost disappeared from view. Do you remember when Christmas was a time for magical plays? Right in your own living room? In the 1960s, every family turned their living room into a stage. Parents and children performed stories about Santa and his elves, while grandparents, neighbors, and friends became the audience. It was a way to share the holiday
That's
spirit,
quite cool, actually.
laugh together, and let imaginations run wild.
Oh, my battery.
Things changed. By the 1970s, televisions were in 90% of American homes, and with the arrival of VCRs, family plays gave way to Christmas movies.
Okay.
Sears and Montgomery Ward Christmas catalogs. Do you remember the excitement of flipping through the Sears and Montgomery Ward's Christmas catalogs? They mark the true beginning of
We
the
didn't
holiday
really have
season.
that, do we?
No, obviously we don't have Sears.
That's definitely an American
I
thing.
guess an equivalent will probably be something like Argos, where you get everything, including toys, and you would
Could be.
scroll through.
To be fair, yeah.
your store.
I mean, Argos is, is it a department store? What is it?
It's just a shop, but
just
you
a shop.
basically shop from a catalog.
Yeah,
It was a
everything's done from
catalog
the
back in the
catalogue, isn't
day.
it? Yeah.
You flip through the pages, you mark where you wanted, and then you go to the shop.
You'd
or
literally
you
get
place
the
an
number
order.
from the product. So it'd be
Code,
like, right,
yeah.
you go through the book, right, this number, you write that down in your bit, right, quantity of that.
Yeah.
This one, quantity of that.
So
and then
kids used to do that.
Yes.
With their Christmas list and all of that. These days, you don't have the catalogs anymore.
No,
You have the
it's all digital,
tablets
everything.
and all of
Yeah,
that.
it's all kind of modern.
But Argos is still around. I'm not
is.
sure if this is kind of similar.
No, not.
In the 60s and 70s, kids would spend hours poring over the pages of the Sears Christmas wish book, picking out the toys they'd be dreaming about all year.
I guess
Parents
it's just
used
the
them for
times have
gift
changed,
ideas,
isn't it?
and families would circle their most wanted items with pencils.
Yeah, there you go.
Montgomery
Similar.
Ward catalogs were equally beloved until they closed in 1985. By the 1990s, everything had changed. Even the iconic Sears wish book was discontinued. When decorations were handmade, Christmas felt even
wow.
warmer.
Oh.
In the 60s and 70s, many families gathered to string popcorn and tinsel into long garlands. These homemade decorations
Look at
wrapped
that
around
box.
the tree,
That's amazing.
adding a personal and cozy touch. Children loved being part of the
But
creative
the fact that
process,
they're handmade as well.
and adults
Yeah.
cherished the nostalgia of simpler times. Why did this tradition fade away? Affordable plastic garlands and shiny mass-produced ornaments took over, replacing something deeply personal with something merely convenient. Do you remember the sound of carolers at your door? It was pure
Yes.
magic. In the 1970s, especially in suburban neighborhoods, groups of friends or neighbors would go door to door singing Christmas carols. A joyful host would open the door.
Did you have that in Romania?
Yes,
Yeah.
we still have it, I think. Not to that extent.
I would say here, well, where we live now, it's very rare.
Yeah.
We're just on a residential estate, so it's not
I've
like
not-
we're out in the middle of nowhere. But I
No,
think
I've not seen it
I've
here.
had it once, and I open the door, and you know, like when you don't really know, like every once in a while we'll get like Jehovah's Witnesses where they come round and they'll talk to you about the Bible and whatnot. So they come round every once in a while. But this one time, the carols, and you sort of open a door. You expect a delivery, don't you? I'm expecting Amazon Prime, and then boom, it's like, whoa. You just don't know what to do. You kind of stood there a little bit awkwardly, like.
I think these days it's a bit hard because people don't really have cash either. Because back in
True.
the day,
Yes.
it started with giving
Like a little tip or
chocolates
something,
and
wasn't it? Yeah.
maybe I used to get like even oranges was a thing when I was a child.
Okay.
And chocolates and all of that. Then when it kind of moved into money,
Yeah.
so these days I don't know what it would be, but people
just-
don't really have cash anymore.
It's
So
just, I can just picture it. The carol guy comes out and just gives out like a little.
like a little card machine, yeah.
Imagine.
And children would listen in awe as familiar tunes like Jingle Bells or Silent Night filled the air. This tradition, rooted in medieval England, once brought entire communities together through song. But over time, caroling became rare. People began socializing less and streets grew quieter, leaving this cherished tradition behind.
It's a bit sad in a way, though, isn't it?
It used to be
Train
like
under
quite
the
magical.
Christmas tree. In those years, Christmas trains stood in almost every home. Children would spend
Okay.
hours watching a miniature train with its
That is
carriages
kinda cool.
circle
I like
around
that,
the
yeah.
tree. It was more than just a toy.
It wasn't a
It was
thing
a symbol of the holiday
me.
that brought the whole
Not for
family
Christmas
closer
for me.
together. The first sets appeared as early as the 1920s, and by the 1970s, demand for them was so high they were often sold out instantly.
That's so cool, though.
But over time, trains gave way to electronic toys and gadgets. What other holiday symbols remain only in memory? Do you remember?
There's definitely a shift now, people wanting to go back to those sort of times where
Well, I
things
think-
were a little bit less digitalized
Yes.
and some traditions are being brought back. Obviously, fashion is coming back and all of that stuff. It's always
Yeah.
been a bit of a circle how things work, isn't
Yeah,
it?
but I guess you can kind of see why in a way, because it's like, you know, you've gone from everyone getting together and like the plays. Obviously, yeah, we don't do that anymore, but it's just that kind of whole
Coming
people
together.
interaction, coming together. Everyone comes around. The carol singers, people getting together to walk around and do carols. Nowadays, you know, people they just don't connect like they
Yeah.
used to. You know, I mean, nothing's as personal. I think that's something in current times that we're definitely missing. You know, it's like just mingling with other people.
Yeah.
It's definitely become a rarer thing now.
Yes, and even in terms of like even decorations, there's a bit of nostalgia going on now where people are going back to what they call tacky Christmas. So instead of having the beige Christmas that we've seen for years now, people are wanting to go back to like having colorful Christmas days and a fuller tree and all of that stuff with multiple colors or reds and greens. I personally love that. So I think we tried a bit more of a neutral Christmas a few years ago, and it was alright, but it just wasn't magical.
Yeah,
So
I mean,
I
to be
think there
fair,
was just 1 year where we tried that and just went back to colour.
this year we haven't made too much effort because they've had a lot going on with the kitchen renovation
Yes.
and that, and we finally have half of our house back, so we can actually we've managed to
Put the tree up
last
and some
minute
decorations.
Christmas tree and stuff. So it feels a bit Christmassy now.
Yes.
But yeah, definitely next year I think we go a bit
Gonna go all out.
up the street. Okay, let's go on. Handmade Christmas cards.
Remember when every Christmas card was personal and special? In the 60s and 70s, many families made their cards by hand, cutting, drawing, and signing them with care.
I guess it's also
They were more
money
than just
saving
greetings.
as well.
They were a way to show your loved ones that you remembered them.
And it's also a thing to do with your family, isn't it?
Like
We're
a
gonna
personal
make
thing,
Christmas
yeah.
cards, and they're all unique as well.
Imagine this. By Christmas, up to 3 billion cards were sent in the US alone.
Jeez.
Now, everything is different. Digital greetings have replaced paper ones, and the warmth of handmade cards has gradually faded. Do you remember the scent of hot punch welcoming guests at the door? In the 60s and 70s, Christmas parties began with a punch bowl filled with spices, fruits, and warmth. Eggnog, which was especially popular at the time, was served with nutmeg, and for adults, a bit of rum or bourbon was added. This tradition, dating back to the 1700s, brought a cozy atmosphere to every celebration. But over time, punches disappeared, replaced by bottled drinks and ready-made cocktails.
Okay.
Do you remember when Christmas started right in the stores and children waited all year for it? In the 60s, giants like Macy's and Sears hosted real celebrations for children. Christmas parties with puppet shows, Santa Claus, and gifts brought families together and turned shopping into a magical adventure.
Wow.
Nice.
Every child dreamed of sitting on Santa's lap to share their wishes. But by the 1980s, malls had taken over, and the format of these celebrations changed. These cozy gatherings in stores remained only in our memories. Another tradition lost to the past. Imagine how the flicker of real candles turned the Christmas tree into a living wonder.
I
In the early
I can see why this tradition stopped. Like, there's probably so
Yes.
many houses that burnt down.
Probably,
There's
yeah.
gotta be, isn't there?
Yeah.
20th century, candles were the primary decoration for Christmas trees. Even in the 60s, some families kept this tradition alive, lighting the candles for a few minutes to create a magical atmosphere.
Oh, just a few
But
minutes.
okay.
it was risky. By the 1970s, candles had almost disappeared from homes due to the danger of fires. Electric lights, which became widely available mid-century, replaced them. Brighter and safer, yes. But could they ever match the enchantment of real candlelight?
I'm not sure if I would ever feel safe and relax around a tree that has
I
real
feel like, you
fire
know,
in it, a
the
real
tinsel,
candle.
because obviously
Everything's so
nearer that time,
flammable.
nearer that time as well, tinsel would have been quite prominent. I
And
guess.
a real Christmas tree, especially when it's chopped off and it's
Dry,
dried in
yeah,
your house.
True, yeah, it's literally like
It literally a split second, it's all engulfed. Yeah, absolutely.
fair, that's kind of scary.
When live reindeer came to town, Christmas felt like a true fairy tale. In the 60s
Oh, yes,
and 70s,
reindeer.
live reindeer were a highlight of holiday celebrations in city parks and parades.
That being said, though, we did go to a Christmas show this year, and they had a couple of reindeers, didn't they? And our daughter
She
met
saw them
a reindeer for the first time. It was quite nice.
It was cute.
I don't
To be
know.
honest, I think it was the first time I've seen one close up as
Really?
well.
Okay.
And I never realized that their antlers were a little bit
Yeah,
fluffy.
yeah. No, me either. Actually, I was kind of
Furry
surprised.
or
Yeah,
something.
Yeah,
little bit,
yeah.
yeah.
it's quite cool.
Children watched in awe as Santa greeted the crowd, accompanied by his magical helpers.
No.
Zoos even rented out reindeer for these events, creating a spectacle everyone looked forward to.
That's cool.
Today, animatronics and special effects have taken their place. More convenient? Maybe. But where's the childhood wonder in that? Christmas markets were once the heart of the holiday magic.
We still have these.
Yeah.
In the 60s and 70s, local markets brought the spirit of Christmas to life. Stalls with toys, candles, homemade treats, and gifts turned shopping into a
we still
stroll
have
through a
these.
festive fairy tale. People gathered, shared smiles, sipped hot cider, and picked out handmade treasures for loved ones. But the rise of shopping malls in the 70s changed everything. Buying gifts became easier, but the warmth and festive charm of these markets were lost. What else have we given up in the pursuit of convenience?
Yeah, I guess these days you don't necessarily go to a Christmas and buy all your presents for your
No,
family
that's
and
true.
stuff. You go to maybe little knickknacks, souvenirs.
Yeah, mostly just have a little look
food.
around and get a bit
Have
of
a
a
look
Christmas
around.
vibe, isn't it?
Yeah, maybe something small. You can find something a bit
Hmm.
more unique. But yeah, you don't buy your entire.
Well, they're normally
Christmas.
like arts and crafts, aren't they? So it's like
Yeah.
homemade things and something
Depends
definitely
what you're
like
after.
different from what you'd be able to get in any other sort
Yeah.
of shop, if that makes sense.
Yeah, and we go there for the
Yeah.
experience, have a look around, for the food, for
Nice
the
bit of
rides.
mulled wine or mulled cider,
Yeah,
you know. Nothing spells Christmas like
some
that.
churros.
Alice loves churros. Like every
get them
time we go in
everywhere.
any form of like,
It's not even a Christmas thing,
no,
is it?
no, it's not. It's really not.
Yeah, there's like a little fair, so we took our daughter around as well. Yeah.
That was nice. Christmas TV
Christmas
shows.
TV specials once united families around the screen.
I think they still do.
In the
We
to an
still have
extent.
those, yeah.
Programs like A Charlie Brown Christmas were major holiday events. Children eagerly awaited Snoopy's antics, while adults enjoyed heartfelt stories. Imagine this. Over half of American households would tune in to experience the magic of Christmas together.
That's cool.
Today, such
That is cute.
specials are rare. Holiday traditions have been replaced by streaming and endless TV series.
I think we're coming to the
Yeah.
end, so we can. Yeah.
I think we definitely still have a lot of Christmas special. Like even shows that go throughout the year, they have a Christmas special at Christmas, obviously.
Yeah.
Pantomimes are a Christmas thing.
Yeah. Do you guys have pantomimes over there? It's like a theatre, but for kids. Very, very silly, very fun, quite interactive as well. So if you have them, then obviously you know what we're talking about. If you don't, then it's kind of like how to explain a pantomime. How would you do that?
To be honest, I've never been to
Have you
a
not?
British
Okay.
pantomime. Like for me, pantomime is what used to be back in the day, where is a no talking sort of show.
Oh, okay. So
that's
more
what,
like a
that's
theatre.
what the word means. Yeah.
Right. So yeah, our version of panto, I guess, is like it's very interactive, and often you have them like kids have them in the schools, so they have a little show, and you know they're all sit around. There'd be a play in the middle, like a little theatrics thing, and it'd be very interactive. So they'd be like, "I can't see him. Where?" It'd be
And the
like, "He's
kids would-
behind
yeah.
you," and then you know. They wait a second, he's behind you, and then they turn around, oh no, he's not, you know, oh yes, he is. It's kind of it's nice.
It's back and forth.
Even
with the
as
kids
even
well.
as an adult, it's quite a
cute.
nice thing to do.
I guess there may be a little variation of the plays that families used to do inside their own family.
Yeah, maybe that's
at
kind of
home.
now
That's
panto.
kinda
Yeah,
moved
possibly.
that way a little bit.
Yeah, there's definitely. I mean, I think as times have changed, obviously things have become easier and more convenient. That's why some of the traditions feel like they might have like died off a bit. Some are obviously danger.
Yeah.
Candles in a tree sounds like a horrendous idea. And I can only imagine that so many have burnt down that then that's caused change and brought the change ahead. I mean, there still are some traditions that we definitely have. So like Christmas markets, they're still very prominent. I think that goes for across the board. You guys have them as well. We always look forward to a Christmas market.
Yes.
I guess carol singers and things like that, they have definitely died down a lot from from in the 60s and 70s, where they were probably quite prominent and you would almost expect them to happen. Whereas now it's like, oh, wow, I haven't seen one of them in a few years.
It's just, like I said, things change. You kind of have to move with the times. We're in the digital era now. The internet's the thing. Kids don't spend as much time outdoors. They don't gather outside to play that much anymore. So it's just a bit
what
different.
though? I think it comes down to the families, and I think like a lot of these traditions and the closeness, because generally these days kids do prefer an iPad to say watching telly and things like that. And I think the only way you can really keep that spirit alive is to get everyone involved and just keep keep these family antics going.
Yeah.
A nice board game or something like that, rather than just playing something on the telly like they always do. Get a board game out, go back to the old school, Monopoly, you know, start a fight amongst your family while you're at it.
Yeah, just unplug the Wi-Fi, unplug the router, and then just say no internet today, guys.
Yeah, literally on Christmas Day.
Around the Christmas
unplug
dinner.
the router, hide the plug for it, and see what sort of carnage you can get up to. I bet it'll probably be one of the best Christmases
Ended up being
you've ever
really
had,
fun,
actually.
yeah.
Because everyone's going to have to be like, oh, I can't play internet, or I can't look at the internet. I need to kill time somewhere else. Let's play a game or something. I think that might be quite fun. You know? There you go. There's an idea. If you've got a bigger Christmas, lose the Wi-Fi.
You lose the Wi-Fi.
Yes, I think that pretty much summarises the video, doesn't it?
Yeah, interesting.
So thanks for watching, guys. And if you've made it this far, don't forget to like and subscribe. It really helps us out. Merry Christmas, and we'll see you in the next video. Bye for now.
Bye.
Bye.